frenzy for the media right now to go through all the bad news that's happening and try to think about what the media is telling you vis-a-vis what the realities are. And one overriding theme here is that, well, I'm going to go through sort of a macro view and then spill through the state down to Marin County and into the sort of North Bay region that we're in. Something else to recognize is that Marin County, of all the counties in this North Bay region, sort of above the Golden Gate Bridge, is in a unique economic situation in the sense that it feeds not only from what happens in Sonoma County and Napa County, as in a sense the tourism, winery aspect of that economy that drives it forward, but it also takes advantage of what's going on in the in San Francisco area and South Bay. So it's a really unique place. It's really a bridge between sort of the urban lifestyle and urban economic situation in the, again, the San Francisco area and South Bay, vis-a-vis the more rural situation that's obviously becoming more urban as time moves on in Sonoma County. So just to get started, one thing to recognize is that we definitely are in the midst of a recession. We're in the midst of a recession, and the bottom line is that we really need to get over the fact that every time we're seeing our Fed chairperson or our president come onto a podium and then start talking about, well, you know what, we're not quite in the recession yet. Don't be fooled, folks. The statistics are now starting to corroborate that story very heavily, and the Federal Reserve does not pump $1 trillion worth of liquidity into the financial markets if it doesn't think it's in trouble. So all the signs are there for recession. The government is just still, sliding on a very steep gradient with its fingernails dug in deep, in the hopes, of course, if you're a Republican, that we won't actually go into recession, because that's bad news for the election. And that's why you're seeing at least President Bush come out and as hard and fast and as many times as he can say it, we're not in recession. We definitely are. If we're not, we're right on the precipice of it. The result of that, ultimately, is that North Bay region, which is, I think of as the 6-county region, starting with Marin, then Sonoma, Napa, Solano, Mendocino, and Lake counties, that 6-county, or that sextet of counties, if you will, is really, the bottom line there is all those sort of feed off of each other in labor force in the least, and then they all compete for each other in landing new businesses. So that's why I think of this as sort of a regional economy, though I'm going to focus a little bit of my talk on Marin at the end. What we're going to see in a graph in just a second shows something is happening in Marin that is not a good thing, but is really more of a function of the cyclic movement of the economy that's happened before. And so I'm going to show you a historic picture of the unemployment rate in Marin, and we're going to see sort of a long view picture of what has happened and where we're likely headed.